What's the story, guys, and welcome to another episode of Irish Media Watch. We're still having fallout from the referenda, so today we're focusing on Alison O'Connor's article in the Sunday Times. Now, as I've said before, Alison was one of the three people that was on a panel on RT that was supposed to be covering the results that they were coming in, and she was one of the ones with a big red face like a smacked arse. She's an ardent feminist for anyone who knows about her, and she was clearly brought on the show just to discuss what a wonderful day for non-hairing it was. It became pretty obvious it was going to be two no's fairly early today, and she was the first person to pull out the far-right card to try and explain things that were going on. We're now a full week over the referenda, and Paddy's Day, so happy Paddy's Day to everyone out there. But clearly from this article, she is still bullying at the rejection of the electorate. So if you want to read an article about somebody who's completely divorced from reality and projecting their own failings onto the entire country, have a good read of her article in the Sunday Times. It's positively dripping with contempt and projected, notions of confusion. To take a quote from the article, she says, "The people have indeed spoken, but in truth, no one yet knows exactly what it is they have said." Yeah, we do, Alison. It's no. The next line's even more hilarious. "The underlying causes are impossible to establish with any certainty at this stage. Now, I'm pretty sure people just went into the voting booth, put X in no, and put it in a box." It's a hilarious article. If this was a double yes, she would be crowing about how progressive the Irish people are and what a wonderful day it is. Seeing as it's a double no, she's floundering about, absolutely steaming in resentment and pouring scorn all over the public for daring to say no to her. There's lots of sly digs at people who she zooms is behind the no vote coming in, but the truth is, she's just out of touch with that too and hasn't a clue what way it went either. It's the projection that gets me though. I screenshot the next article, just so you can read it yourself. It basically says this. Then you have the purity aspect, relatively new and hugely fueled by social media, where you are either for or against and nuanced is not allowed. Even to ask questions can be seen as treasonous. You are simply not allowed to hold a different view. Another social media aspect, according to one government source, was apparently how 99% of TikToks on the referendum pointed toward two no votes. They described cross-infection of confusion, misinformation and government ineptitude. Now, that is the biggest amount of cope I've ever seen in my life. If you actually scratch out the word social media and type in mainstream media, you get an accurate description of what just happened to her own profession. I honestly can't believe she doesn't have the self-awareness to realise what she just wrote there. The mainstream media in this country has been ruining people out of it that hold a different view to them for decades now. The old school broadcasters, guys like Eamon Dunphy and stuff like that. You never see them anymore because they've been completely replaced by intersectional lunatics who come in with their own agenda. And they are the first guys to launch full force into cancel culture if you dare to even suggest that you might disagree with their stance on something. I mean, there is no more cancerous environment than the mainstream media in this country. And indeed, in entertainment, if you go in there and you have anything even remotely considered to off form, you're gone and you will never get a gig again. This is why they're so utterly terrified of social media, because it's just a bunch of normies with phones informing each other and talking about things. You can't control that, you can't moderate that, and that can't be. It's another one of our paragraphs, though, that really did stand out to me, and I actually highlighted it in the screenshot that I've got up now. It says, other issues, such as the far right and immigration, must have had an influence on some places, particularly constituencies with high no votes, up to 80% in the family referendum, which had a 67% no vote overall, or 84% in the care referendum, which had an overall no vote of 74%. That is a clear dig at working class areas. That's Alison plunging a knife into the single mothers of Cherry Orchard, of Ballyfermot and Tallaght. And I gotta say, it's nice to see the trope of the upper class, middle class media girl who despises working class women is alive and well. Gotta be honest, I'm loving it. I mean, the salt is flowing in mad. She is absolutely bulling. That the great unwashed didn't listen to her. In fact, the only thing funnier is she got the percentages wrong. It was actually between 93 to 96% in those areas. But I mean, this is the Irish media dealing with. Can't expect them to get anything right nowadays, can you?